Real estate is a patient man's game, and like everything else, you learn by experience and your mistakes. My grandfather was a carpenter in Europe and emigrated to the United States. My father had a grocery store in Boyle Heights, and my mom worked in the store, and they dabbled in real estate whenever possible. As a kid, we would sit around the dinner table and talk about things like the plumbing needs of Mrs. Ginsburg in 203. It was a practical education. We weren't rich, but we made it. I worked in the store and went to Poly High here in LA, and then UCLA. Halfway through college, I was drafted into the Navy and trained as a radar technician. I didn't serve very long because the war soon ended. After 2 years, I was back at UCLA. My mom wanted me to be a doctor, but I never had the grades to make it into med school. I got my BA, married, and managed an apartment house. I worked job after job and kept getting fired. I was just too ambitious. Then I started working at a sheet metal company, calling on building contractors. I learned a lot. It was the 50s and there was a massive building boom. My father and some friends borrowed money and built an 8-unit apartment building on Gordon Street right here in Hollywood. I continued building and began keeping those buildings, borrowing money only when necessary. In 1977, I had a number of apartment buildings, but with all the rules and regulations, I felt that industrial and commercial projects were a much better way to go. The crossroads of the world property was shoddy, run down, and with significant vacancies. But it had extraordinary history, everything from major Hollywood actors, directors, and musicians to a murder. It had been mismanaged and repossessed. I did a 1031 exchange with a couple of my apartment houses. We began to fix it up and acquire more pieces of property. In 1992, Jeff Luster came into the picture. I went through the process of having Crossroads of the World declared an historic landmark and began acquiring adjacent properties as available. I didn't buy some properties because they were overpriced, and then purchased them years later at 10 times the original price. But that's the story of California real estate. Today we hold 8.5 acres over 2 blocks in the center of Hollywood. My daughter Linda entered the business in 2004. Together, we decided David Schwartzman was the right fit to develop it. Soon, there will be 3 30-story towers and 250,000 square feet of retail space, including shops and restaurants, and a vibrant outdoor experience. The original Crossroads of the World will remain. So after all these years of experience and mistakes, what's worked for me? Being decisive, paying subs and bills promptly. Vendors like working for you when they know they will be paid quickly. Doing the right thing because it will bring you the next deal. Not to mention being charitable and doing good deeds. My charity work focuses on education and the environment, as well as other causes, such as the Jewish Home, but enough about me. Tonight is for the Guardians of the Los Angeles Jewish Home. As you know, it's a wonderful organization, and I'm delighted and humbled to be honored by them.